Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we have a coffee request. This is from Kari, and Kari says Hardanger Fiddle or Hardanger Fiddle is Norway's national instrument. Oh, I didn't know that. You can hear it used in Kylie Alessandro's lighter. Oh, that's so nice. So we're reacting to a video from Ari Jonsson doing the Hardanger Fiddle. Thank you so much, Kari, for the support, and let's go straight to the video, guys.
This is a Hardanger Fiddle, or a traditional Norwegian violin. And as you can see, it's very similar to a typical violin that...
Is it called a violin or no? Like, is it something that you guys normally do, call it a violin? Or is she just explaining what it is based on, you know, people who don't know it?
Norwegian violin. And as you can see, it's very similar to a typical violin that would be used to sing, but there's a few differences that make it distinct to Norway. One of the biggest differences that you'll notice first thing is the number of pegs. This violin has 9 strings instead of just the original 4. You play on only 4, just like in a normal violin, but there's 5 sympathetic strings that rest underneath the original strings that are meant to just resonate with the sound. And so when they're tuned perfectly, you can hear them. So if you look closely, you can see...
Wait a second. So you're telling me that there are 9 strings and the other strings under it, they just vibrate and cause kind of like an echo, like a reverb sound? That is so smart.
The chorded D string, these strings, and then underneath there's those sympathetic strings.
Oh, that is so cool.
And these strings, this violin just resonates a lot more than a normal violin. You can kind of hear it.
Wow.
Just ring for a really long time. And so that's something that makes the instrument pretty unique. Something else that's...
Wait, that tone itself reminded me of Alexander Rybak. Does he use one of these or does he use a normal one? Because, wait a second. In Kyle Alexander's video, his song, Lighter, it sounds like there's a Rybak reference there as well. I mentioned it last time. Did you notice? It sounds like something that Alexander Rybak... He uses a normal one. Okay. But it does sound similar.
Instrument pretty unique. Something else that's different is the neck of the instrument is shorter than on a normal violin. And so because of this, you never really shift like difficult. You would playing a normal violin. You just stay in the one position. So there's never usually a chin rest because you don't really need the extra support because your hand just stays in this one position the whole time. Something else that's unique is the bridge of the instrument. And different from a violin, the bridge is a little bit flatter than the one on a normal violin, and so the strings are closer together. And so you typically play more than one string at a time. It's rare on the Hardanger Fiddle that you ever play one string just by itself.
That is so interesting.
Strings, it creates sort of a drone sound. And so mixed with these 4 strings mixed with the 5 understrings make this really resonating drone sound that sounds really unique. Something else that makes the instrument distinct is obviously just the look of the instrument.
Thank you, Bob Sarzan. Thank you for the coffee request.
All of the tail pieces are carved with either the shape of a maiden or a dragon or a lion. And then the instruments are typically decorated with this bone and ivory inlay on the neck of the instrument, also in the peg box, and then all around the instrument. And on the back as well. And then they hand paint these rosing designs on the instrument as well, and so it makes it have a very unique look. And these instruments are typically handmade in Norway.
So are you saying he can't play the Hardanger Fiddle? Question. Do all of them have the same design with the flowers, or is it something that it's unique to each one? That looks like a tattooed violin. That is pretty cool.
On the neck of the instrument, also in the peg box, and then all around the instrument. And on the back as well. And then they hand paint these rosing designs on the instrument as well, and so it makes it have a very unique look. And these instruments are typically handmade in Norway. And it's a craft to make them over there. It's as it's like their national instrument. But
it must be very expensive to get one of these. Honestly, I always aspired to play an instrument. I think this would be a nice instrument to learn. it might be very, very hard, but I don't know. There's something about that it's interesting. You know, my wife she had a violin, and she was learning, and she used to play the violin, and also the piano, which we have one here. I've never shown you, but it's packed. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, because she used to work in an instrument store, so that's pretty cool.
But there is a few makers in the United States as well that have learned the craft and try and keep the tradition alive. But today I'm going to play a song on the Hardanger Fiddle, and the song is called Fani Tulin. It's a traditional Norwegian piece, and it's played with the trollstemt tuning, or troll tuning. And another unique thing about this instrument is that it has more than 100 tunings.
Wow.
And it makes the instrument really difficult to learn to play, because you play by listening and improvising, not necessarily by reading written music. And there's not really a lot of written music for this instrument out there. You just listen and then you repeat what you hear. And so this is one of the more traditional tunings. About 30 of the tunings are used regularly, but there's a lot of them that exist. You can really tune it however you want. There is a joke that people spend more time tuning the instrument than they do playing, and that is true.
Wow.
Because of all the pegs that you have.
Oh, see, Maria just mentioned that in the chat, saying it's hard to tune. One guy who knows how to play it joked that he would spend more time tuning it than playing it. That's exactly what she mentioned as well. All of them look similar, but there are probably differences depending on who made it. Yeah. Man, yeah, these look unique. Handcrafted from Norway. It sounds really exquisite.
Have to tune. Every time you tune the instrument, you don't just tune the top 4 strings, but the 5 under strings as well. But today I'm going to play this song, Fani Tulin, and you can kind of hear the resonation sound.
The under strings as well, wow. But there's probably an app for it. Really fast fingers. She's good. Wow. She's good. Honestly, it sounds medieval. It sounds, you know, like those medieval dinner scenes that you see people like dancing, and, you know, it sounds like that type of medieval ball that you would see. That's pretty awesome. Do you guys know if the Irish also play some of that? Because it sounds a little bit like what they play, but I don't know. I think they have their own. It sounds more medieval than anything else. That's pretty cool. And she's very good at it. Wow. Pantilan, which she plays, means the devil's song. Why? Interesting. That was really nice. I bet it's a very difficult instrument to play. She made it look easy. She was like, and the tuning, I think today you might have an app which helps tune. Not sure, but still, I think you still have to fiddle with the tunings. I don't know. Maybe, you know, in the future, or maybe in the present, I don't know, there'll be one that has automatic tuning where it tunes itself. You know, that would be something interesting. Let me know if you guys embrace that idea of having an automatic tuning, or if the fun of it is, you know, manually tuning it. But that is pretty cool. Maybe this is something that if it doesn't exist, then people Like Michael Reeves, for example, should try to make a auto-tuning device. Pretty cool. Hi Dilly. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. If you want to request a video just like Kari did, go through Buy Me a Coffee, click over here, or click over here to see my Norway playlist. Take care. Bye-bye.